Hi guys. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some more alcohol ink here, and I wanted to show you, I always kind of I draw out the palette of colors that I want to use because they can really vary. So if you're looking for the numbers, these are the numbers that I'm using. And then I'm also going to be using some Thule art pens, a couple Uniballs, and a couple Tombos. If you don't have all of this, use what you have. This is just to show you what you can do with some of these different pens. A lot of people complain about these alcohol ink markers, and I think the biggest problem is people don't know how to make them work for them versus against them. So let's get started here. So we've got a dark rim on this. That's going to be the ribbon on this hat. Get this for a little bit of shadow. One thing to remember about this alcohol ink pens is they bleed. So when you spray, you have to be really, really careful because they will bleed. So if you're looking to do fine details on something, these are not the correct pens to be using for fine detail. But if you're looking for something that blends really cool, these blend really, really cool. So I'm a big fan of them due to that. So I'm going to put a little bit more shadow there. And then let's see here. We're going to do a little bit of lighter up at the top of the hat. So this is going to be a lady on the beach. Whoops, almost knocked that over, didn't I? Boy, it's hard to concentrate when I'm listening to country music. I didn't realize what a distraction that is for me. It's very interesting. At least, you know, I can paint fine, but painting and talking with country music is a little bit more challenging, and I wasn't aware of that till just now. Okay, so that's going to be the sky, and then we're going to drag down a little bit of water coming down at the side here. And then we're going to do some beach sand. And I'm not doing a lot of detail with this because alcohol ink it bleeds when it's in markers like this. So there's really no point because it's going to blend quite a bit on its own. That's why I'm not really paying much attention to how I'm smeared it on here because it truly has a life of its own. So if you're OCD, these are probably not the right markers for you. Okay, so we got that. Now, the color of her dress is going to have some dark in it. Yes, this is going to be a lady. I know, it's hard to believe, right? Okay. And then this 0 here is a blender. So you can take the blender and go in here and blend the hat to look a little bit more like you want it, so it's not so rough. And then I'll come back in here later with a liner and clean this hat up and everything. But that you can also use it here on the sand if you want. And you can blend, see how the beach and the sand is blending together with this. I'm pretty sure that all these are just alcohol in the pens, but they work really well. And then when they get all nasty and colored, first of all, they're very inexpensive. They only run about $1 out of China to buy them. But when they get all icky from what you've been doing, you just wipe them there and the color comes off, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so now what I really need with her is I need a lighter. Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple more Tombos here because I need, yeah, this will work. I need to be able to do her skin. So this is going to be her arm coming down here and her shoulder, and then we're going to have a little bit of skin showing in between her hair. So just got it like that. She's wearing a little sundress. It's all ready for the weekend. Okay, so now what do we want to do? So now I'm going to do, I need to do her dress, and I want to do it, I've got too many tans here, so I need to think about this a little bit. I want to do another shade, so maybe lavender? Let me see, is this going to be, let's see, this might not be too bad here. So we'll bring this in. We'll give her a little lavender dress. Boy, I guess Blake Shelton is distracting me. Okay. So we've got the purple in there, the lavender on her dress. And then I'm going to come back in with the blender and just kind of blend it a little bit. Okay. Wipe it out again. Then I will come back in here and I'm going to give her some hair. She's just having a great day at the beach, this one. And don't worry too much about any of this really, because the resin just does so much when you resin it. So if you don't like something right now, don't worry about it. It will all be taken care of with the resin. Come back in and I'm going to take a black. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of white too, because I want to do white. Gotta get the white flowing here. You know, I might need to spray this first before the white comes out on that, so I'll go back in with the black. And I'm just gonna go around the rim of the hat here. And again, everything's really rough. Do not worry about this portion of what you're doing. It's all gonna be fine. Okay, and then we've got the arm that goes down there, and we have the dress, the rest of her arm. See how everything just starts kind of coming into play. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in here with some gold, and I'm going to run some gold through her hair. Because she's enjoying the summer. Got a little gold going on. Okay, and then we need to put a little spot here in her arm. And then I'm probably going to go across here with gold to part the C. And then I'll probably do this because this is water trickling down. And then I'm going to do the top of the hat there. And I still will come back in with white and do some stuff here, but just showing you how quick and easy it is to do this kind of stuff with the markers. Now what I really don't like right here is I'm probably going to come back in and clean up the shadowing. It's not my favorite, but I'll work on it and fix it. All right, I'm going to shut it off for a minute. Okay, so I took it outside and I brought it back in, and I didn't like some of the shadowing that I saw, the shading, so I went ahead and painted it white in there, and then I'm just going to paint over it again to get what I want. So you can do that. There's no set rules to stuff. I think the biggest problem that I see with people is they give up. There's an error or a mistake and they feel like they can't fix it. And I've seen people toss rocks and everything, and that's just, you can't let a rock control you like that. I don't know how else to say it, I guess. So everything is fixable. All right, so this is just shift paint, and I'm a big fan of shift paint. And I'm just gonna go in here, and later after it's resined, the shift will really, really pop and it will look really pretty. So I'm just adding that to her dress so you can see a little bit of depth there, and then put a little back here as well. But I am a huge fan of this shift paint. You can get it at everywhere now. You can get it at Walmart for a little over $3 a bottle, I think. So it's, definitely more expensive, but for what it gives you, it's wonderful. Okay, so now I'm also going to take some of this blue purple that I have here of shift, and again, it's going to be hard to see what it will do now because it's wet and it's not resined, but that will really help the sky there around her and the ocean and stuff. It will just really make everything pop. And then I'm going to go ahead and drag it down a little bit too, because it's kind of coming down the beach side here on this one side of her. She's probably out shelling or something is my guess. Thinking about how fabulous it is to be at the beach and trying to figure out how she can be there full time versus being in the real world, right? Okay, so we've done that, and then let's see, is this dry enough yet? So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to color this all in, and then I'll come back in with a darker shade, but I just, I didn't care for the color of her skin there. So I'm still going to come back in with dark. I just didn't want it to be too dark there on the edge. It was just a bit too dark, so I'll come back in with this lighter tan and see if I can get what I need out of it. And then let's see, not crazy about that either, so I'm going to come back in with a golder one. So, you know, it's a lot of plain, and there's no right or wrong way to it. Okay, but you can kind of tell that that's her arm there, and then I would like some more depth, I think, in her hair. Excuse my barking dog. I have a dog that just lacks in the manner department. I don't know how else to say it. We've never had a dog be so disobedient as him. He's a Malshi, and goodness gracious, has he got an attitude. He's something else, so I apologize. I've turned into one of those parents that apologizes for the actions of her child, haven't I? When I probably need to be disciplining him. But he's got a neat personality too, so I hate to do too much to him and take that away. I don't want to rob him of his spirit. There he goes again. Okay. Okay, I'm not getting what I want out of that one, so maybe I'll switch over to this one. So, you know, it's a lot of trial and error of what you want to get out of it, shadowing wise and whatnot. I'm certainly not a perfectionist. Okay. But I won't be doing much more to her, and I will be resining her. I might add a little bit more darkness in her hair, but for the most part, she's gonna go under the resin, and then the resin is just gonna make her look great. Resin is just so amazing to add to these. Okay, so you can't really see the shift right now, but I promise you when I resin it, you are gonna go, oh my gosh, that shift really pops, because it really helps. All right, thanks for watching.